In this episode of the Circle of Fists, we're doing the ENGL Retro Tube 50 Combo E768. The ENGL Retro Tube 50 head features 2 channels of retro sound. Channel 1 offers warm and sparkling clean sounds and very harmonic crunch sounds with ENGL's version of a Class A character. Channel 2 is a perfectly suited warm overdrive channel offering a wide range of retro tones for the ambitious guitar player. 100% cutting in the studio, 100% convincing on the stage, 50 watts of retro tube power. Specifications: preamp, 2 channels, clean lead, gain, boost switch for both channels, bright switch for the clean channel, tone switch for the lead channel, separated gain and volume controls for each channel, 2 3-band EQs, noise gate with threshold adjustment for the lead channel with gain boost on, effects loop, switchable via foot switch. Preamp section has 4 ECC83 tubes. Master section 50 watts, 2 EL34 tubes, second master volume available via foot switch and controllable at the rear panel. Speaker is a Heritage G12-65 Celestion. The ENGL Retro Tube 50 Combo Amp retails for $1,589. 1 minute, Billy.
Huh?
1 minute. All right, so today we did the ENGL Retro Tube 50 combo amp. And so yeah, so a few things right now. They don't make this exact configuration anymore. They make just the head version by itself. They don't make it in the combo anymore. But you can find them out there used and that kind of stuff. So we'll talk price at the end.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
The foot switch,
Yes.
which we were using, is that part of the amp, or
No.
is that's not?
Yes, that's not. So that's like an amp. They make a switch for the actual combo amp, but that one, it's like it's like monstrous.
They're like
it's like
this long, but they're all in one.
it's all one row,
One row.
of pedals from ENGL. They're
Okay,
really
that
big.
wasn't the factory foot switch.
No, that one is from an aftermarket guy, I think up in like Northern California area or something like that. We'll have a link in the bio of who it was from, but 'cause I don't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, so that's aftermarket, and then we were not using, what was it? Because the reverb, when you plugged in one part of it, it killed the reverb, right? So we unplugged one. That was what, the loop? Well, I'm trying to remember what it was.
We unplugged the loop portion of that foot switch
From
to
that
make
foot
the
switch.
reverb
So the reverb would work.
yeah.
Okay, so just so that's all clear and everybody's, thank you for asking that, Chris, appreciate it. So who wants to go first?
I did,
Okay, there you go.
because it's only going to get better.
Okay.
So, did not like the amplifier.
Off the bat.
Yeah, and so I'll just, a couple things jump out. Way too many knobs. Way too many knobs for me.
ENGL's known for that.
On the top. I'd have to spend some nights with the manual to figure out, but my biggest concern would be this. Figuring it out in my music room with good lighting and plenty of time, no problem. But if I got that thing on stage, in a dark stage at a gig, and something wasn't going right, there's no way I would be able to figure out the knob configuration as to what the problem was with my amp. And Billy was actually playing, and for like 15 seconds, he went like totally dark with volume. And he was looking right at the amp, and I was thinking, that's when it popped into my mind, like, holy shit, what if that happens at a gig?
Right.
Like, you can't figure out how to get volume out of your amplifier. I mean, we're professionals here, so didn't like that. I actually helped get it up on stage one time. It weighs like 4 bags of cement. It's heavy as can be.
Yeah.
But probably the biggest thing that I didn't like about it was it just didn't sound good in my ear. And I played with all of the different, that's why I asked about the foot switch, because I played with all the different channels. You know, there was a channel switch, there was a tone switch, there was a gain switch, and I kept hitting all of those, and I just couldn't find. So eventually I just kind of resorted back to the clean tone, and I thought, well, I can get this clean tone out of 50 amplifiers.
Right.
You know, so all of the, just for me, I mean, I'm sure a lot of people, it's their dream amp, but for me, the negatives far outweigh the positives, especially when there are so many choices out there for amplifiers. I mean, we at the table tested a small amplifier from a different manufacturer that was killer and simple.
Right.
That was a badass little box.
It was a badass in a box. And, you know, so I think, you know, your amps, sometimes less is more. And for me, that's just what I felt about this.
Okay. Hold on a second, guys. Mark, the center light went out.
Yeah.
Well, I would even check, is that making a...
It was bright, and then it went dim, and then it went off.
Yeah. I don't know if it's making a huge difference.
I wasn't going to say anything there. I was like, shit.
Yeah, no, it's... There we go. We'll just wait for him just to pop in the batteries real quick. There it goes. Yeah, maybe. It's Chinese, just slap it a couple times, it'll work. Oh, yeah?
That almost got me
That's all it
arrested. I even use that logic with a cop, and it's like, easy, buddy.
Easy, buddy. Well, good thing you know Chris. He
Right.
could have gotten you out of that.
He's like, I got you,
I'm
buddy.
a merchant of misery. That's what I am.
I love it. It's so good.
Do you have that on your business card, merchant of business?
No, it would be offensive if I actually printed it. I just feel better saying it.
It becomes a lot more real when it's printed.
Yeah.
When it's printed, it's a lot more real. That's funny.
It's like off American Psycho, though. Damn, Boston has his business cards.
Yeah.
The subtle texture of it.
What was his name?
Really losing his shit.
Christian Bell.
What was his, Patrick, was it Patrick? Patrick Bateman.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
That's
yeah.
what, that was his name in the movie, Patrick Bateman.
Well, there's a show on which is just drop dead funny. Have any of you seen the series Barry?
No.
Barry,
that one's about this
Barry is a
intensity of the
hitman,
sun.
Yeah.
but he really in
That's
life
some new
wants
batteries
to be
right
a
there.
stand-up comic.
That one's
is
really
that
bright.
a very brand new series?
cool.
It is.
It's got heater
Okay.
in it, right? Bill
That's,
Heater or whatever?
it doesn't have a dimmer,
Or wait,
does
no,
it?
no, the
That's
Henry
way
Wink-
brighter than what it was.
Henry
super
Winkler
bright.
is his
Yes,
agent.
I've
I
seen
don't know
the
if it can go
ads.
down
but
that
I
way.
had
That's
like-
so
like way
dark.
bright.
It's incredibly
That's probably good, yeah. Sorry, it was just like blinding.
Yeah.
All of a sudden.
I've looked at the ads and I want to check it out, but I haven't. It's really funny.
It's hysterical. It reminds me of probably about 8 years ago, there was another series on that was super dark but hysterical called 6 Feet Under, about
Oh,
the
yeah.
two brothers who
Yeah.
ran the mortuary.
Mortuary, yeah, that was a good one.
That was hilarious
That was really good.
because every single episode was about death.
Yeah.
But it was
Really
hysterical.
funny, yeah. All right, so now we're back in. All right, so who wants to go next? So Chris just went, okay, Rob, go for it.
So I'll tell you what it reminded me of, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
Okay.
For those that are interested. So it actually reminded me more of a Mesa Boogie than anything else, with a kind of a British little sprinkle on it. The clean is very Mesa to me. I had the warm, fat, fendery Mesa modded vibe. When you kicked in the crunch, it gave more of that. So if I could compare it, it would be like the transatlantic model of the Mesa line, which I love. I love the transatlantic more than I love that personally. My school of playing, what? Good thing I'm talking right now.
Yeah.
Fits more along with that kind of, that amp had a little too much compression and saturation, and for me personally, I like a little bit of breakup, a little bit more fizziness, a little more broken sound, I guess.
Okay.
Nothing too perfect and polished. But I like the reverb. I'm a reverb junkie. It kind of added a nice, it wasn't a springy, it was more of a hall kind of reverb. And so it gave it a lot of space. I kind of cut back on that quick saturation that kind of sounds like it's squeezing your neck. And if I took more time to dial it in, I probably would have been more happy with it. But for me, it kind of does what all the other kind of high gain amps do, which is oversaturate, overcompress, and squeeze it so that you can get this very direct cutting, kind of live, heavy sound. Not my cup of tea personally, but it was a good sound. I did like it, but it's not something I would have bought or anything.
Makes sense.
So.
Chris?
I really liked the amp. When I was playing it using a Strat, the last time I used an amp was the head version of that, and I had EMGs. And they say it's a retro amp. It's pretty damn heavy. It's not really like a soft retro anything, but that's not bad. It's just they were totally like, it's retro, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be warm and sweet sound. It's gnarly, but yeah, no, I really liked it. I liked the headroom of it, and he made a really good point about it being very Mesa-y. But no, I liked it a lot. The only thing I didn't really get to like go crazy on, which I just didn't think about it now that I thought about it, which he mentioned afterwards, is like cranking the gain on a Strat to see how heavy the Strat sound could have gotten. Because I know like if you redo it with like a Les Paul and crank it, it'll get like brutally like fucking death metal. Like yeah, it gets gnarly. So yeah, it's just a fun amp. I think it's cool.
Cool.
Yeah. My first reaction to it was it's not intuitive.
Yeah.
There's just, okay, this line from here to here controls this. This line from here to here controls this. It works here, but it doesn't work when the pedal's plugged in. But on the pedal, this combo pressed with this does this over here. And
too much.
yeah, and I was trying to simple it down in my head because there's 2 masters and 2 channels. I'm like, okay, 1 channel, there's a master for that. 2 channels, there's a master for that. And at one point, I switched to the 2nd channel, but yet the first master was still engaging, and I couldn't get anything.
Were you using the pedal?
Yeah.
Or did you unplug it by then?
No, I was using the pedal, and so somehow I got something backwards or something. It was not intuitive.
Gotcha.
I could hear from screwing around, there's tones in there, and some of them are pretty cool. I kind of like the gained up clean in that. If I wanted to go on something that was, you know, kind of like a Dwight Yoakam or something that was kind of like dirty country, but not, you know, the Def Leppard country that's out today.
That's a great way to put it.
Well, yeah,
That's funny.
it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know, country today sounds like a big pop song with a bunch of haze and 80s metal guitars.
Right.
But like you go to that kind of 90s country where it was twangy, but it was still like Bad Boy.
Yeah.
That amp did that well.
Gotcha.
And then it felt like there was a good, heavy, real, just evil tone in there somewhere that I kind of got close to. I poked the demon.
You poked it.
But I didn't really open it up.
Didn't let it have its cage.
And I think if the amp was just more intuitive, the knobs made more sense, or the buttons plus the knobs working in tandem with the pedal,
Right.
I could have done more. The way that it's written is real hard to see in the dark, so you're 100% right. If I was on stage, example here, and I couldn't get any sound, again, example here, it would take me a couple seconds to figure out, wait, what the hell's not working?
Song's over by then.
Yeah. I'm like, right back, or you
The
lip
band's
sync.
going to take a short break.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
Yeah.
And so that's a piece of gear that would either require me really putting some effort into figuring it
Knowing
out,
it, yeah.
and I could probably get a lot out of it then,
Right.
but it's not intuitive.
Right.
There's nothing, it seems like a bunch of people are sitting there and they're like, it would be cool if we put in this. You know, and then let's add it, where do you want to put it? At the end. Cool. Okay,
in.
what's left? You know, it's just like,
Gotcha.
nobody went, oh, let's make this easy to use.
Right. Gotcha.
And
I think
that's pretty much.
Just to rip off of that, I think that's just like a classic like German thing because all the German amps or just most German tech has so many knobs and switches and settings. Fucking,
Yeah.
it's insane. Yeah, so I think that's also part of it.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, it just, I'm like, wow.
The country tone thing that you did at the end,
Yeah.
it sounded killer though. Honestly,
Yeah.
like it was,
Well,
it was
that's
funny,
what
but
I
it
said.
kind of
perked up like-
everybody was like,
Yeah.
oh, that was nice.
Yeah, there's
There's
I said, there's
right.
things in there
Yeah, exactly,
that
yeah.
I poked at.
It's
but-
not bad sounding, but it's just hard to get to it.
Yeah, and if I could figure it out or somehow go, oh yeah, this is what I need to do with this, block out a weekend,
Right.
I could probably make that thing sing for me.
Right.
But I can't plug and play that worth shit.
Right, I got you.
Call it operator error, I don't care. I couldn't. It wasn't intuitive.
I'm the complete opposite from all of
Yeah.
The complete. The only reason why I say that is because I had the ENGL Savage,
Yeah.
and the Savage has way more knobs than that. It has like 2 complete rows of knobs.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's retarded.
And
But-
buttons.
Savage.
And buttons.
And buttons, and then on the back there's more knobs, so I'm used to it. So maybe that's the other thing. But
Right.
I look at the back of a Mark V now and I'm like, it's not that bad.
yeah, right. When that amp came out, I actually got to try it at the ENGL showroom. So that's the other thing
good
too.
deal.
I had
Yeah.
20, 30 minutes to work with it, and it sounded tits.
Mm.
So I think if everyone had more than 5 minutes, you guys can get a real good tone. And if we had the actual foot switch,
Yeah.
because the one he has makes it really confusing.
That's not really fair to the maker.
Yeah.
To not have all the equipment there. One thing Robert said that it was the word that I was searching for was from the time I turned the amp on, there was too much saturation. It was either going to be clear or it was going to be crazy saturated, which I just couldn't kind of work with.
Yeah.
Right.
So I couldn't find that, little bit of boost, little bit of gain, little bit of, overdrive you want to, it just for me sort of when I started hitting buttons, it defaulted straight to saturation. And the other thing was I had the same experience with the masters because I knew I was on one channel and I wanted to bring the volume up, so I turned one of the masters up, it did nothing. So I turned the second master up, it did nothing. And I was like, well, wait a minute, what am I doing wrong here? And I just thought, that's exactly when I thought, like, man, this would be a nightmare on stage.
Are you sure you were turning up the master and not the noise gate? Because the thing is, if you're in master A and you're turning up master B, it's not going to do anything. You have to click the switch to switch it over.
Right.
And unfortunately, right next to the 2 masters is the fucking noise gate. So everyone's going to go like, yeah, and they're going to turn their noise gate all the way up while their volume still stays the same.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But
so
I could
maybe.
easily have made that mistake.
Yeah. Well, like you said, that also goes to the fact of not being able to see it either, not being able to see like the writing and all that kind of stuff. That kind of goes hand in hand with that.
And it also
So-
is kind of confusing because the way the combo is, when you look at it straight on, everything's upside down.
Right.
You have to
Right.
look at it from the back.
Yeah.
So I think maybe the head version would be a lot clearer
Easier,
because
'cause
not
in
only that,
front.
it's going to be eyesight or like
Right.
eye
Yeah.
line.
Front. Yeah.
And yeah, everything's not going to be upside down.
And it doesn't have to be, super simple. Like a couple weeks ago, we did that Bennett combination combo
Right.
amp, which the controls on that are the simplest I've seen.
Ever. Yeah. It's like three
Yeah,
knobs,
like
something
three.
like that.
You can learn. You can learn that in 5 minutes.
Right.
So it doesn't always have to be that, but there was just a lot of jewelry on the top of that
Yeah.
amp.
Absolutely.
Way of putting it.
Absolutely. Okay, so the head version goes for, you said right around like $2,000, right?
Yeah.
$2,000 for that, for the head version of that amp. We were looking online and like used right now, you can find that exact combo for in the like $800 to $900 range right now, because they don't make that anymore. So, obviously, well, you don't own this one, but you've played it.
Yeah.
So we'll maybe start with you. Would you buy that combo amp?
No.
No.
But
Okay.
I'd buy another angle. Different angle.
Just not that one,
Just not
right?
that one.
Billy?
No.
No, yeah.
No, for that price, I can find too many other things,
Right.
and I have to decide, is
true.
it worth the work to put in to get what I want out of it?
Right. No, I
It's
understand
probably
that.
all there, but it just doesn't balance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same as Dave, I'd go buy like a full
A different
gnarly
angle.
I'd
angle.
buy the head
Yeah.
version. I feel the head is a little different than that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
that specific
Kinda like the
flavor of angle just doesn't do much for me.
Right,
I'd
gotcha.
Go get a Powerball 2 or something.
I'd buy the Boogie, honestly.
Oh, okay.
So that's just me.
The one that you, the sound
Yeah,
wise,
and that's and I will say, not to knock ENGL or anything, because they're an amazing company. I will say, For the ENGL customer, for the ENGL template, this is exactly what they've always done. So there's nothing new about this amp that they haven't done before, and this amp isn't any different than any of the other layouts. If you look at the Blackmore amp is like that, the Invader, the Artist Edition, they're all along the same line as what that brings, just different flavors, the gain structure and whatnot. So if you're an ENGL customer and you just want maybe a little bit more of leaning a little bit more towards the classic stuff with maybe a better clean channel, a little bit more options on reverb and stuff, then that is 100% your amp. And if you want maybe just the tighter, aggressive stuff and you're fine with that, cool. And because it can do the two very well. So it's kind of like if you always get a 3 Series, then the 2018 3 Series is going to be just fine. You know?
Right.
So that's what I would say. You know, I wouldn't personally buy it.
Right.
I would do the Boogie, but that's just me. So
I would pass, but I agree, like, you know, companies have to know who their customer is, who their market is. You're not, generally speaking, you're not going to sell a Mesa Boogie to a lifetime Fender guy.
Right.
You know, you're not going to, and, you know, bass players get super particular about, you know, their head and you know, who it is. So you really got to know kind of your customer and your niche in the market. I do agree with Chris, you know, I think they kind of got the name wrong. It doesn't remind me of classic tube anything.
Right.
He's right. I mean, to me, it sounded like a pretty heavy amp.
Yeah.
But, you know, who knows? That's their...
Well, and which, not to cut you off, Chris, but to say with what you're saying though, as far as their niche and their market, I think that actually shows because it kind of hit on the guys that it's kind of going for, which are the more heavy, harder, you know, harder rock metal type guys, and that's who it kind of hit with out of the group here. I almost feel like the retro vibe and that, or the name portion of it, is solely because it's a combo amp. Like I literally feel like it's a combo amp, so we're going to call it retro.
I think that's that, and also he made a good point of it. They might be competing with the Royal Atlantic.
Transatlantic.
Right.
Sounds
Yeah.
about right.
That makes a lot of sense. I was like, oh yeah.
Right.
The only
So-
thing was Billy did get like this great sort of, you know, Johnny Cash, you know,
That tone,
right there
worked
in the
it.
last couple of minutes. It was bouncy and fun, and you know, so that's definitely in the amplifier.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. It's
Like
there.
I said, I poked a couple things. I just didn't,
Yeah.
you know,
Grab it.
put a leash on it, walk around the block.
Yeah. Call it yours.
I was gonna say,
Give it a name.
going back to it being kind of heavy, when we did the first Tsunami party at the NAMM after
Oh,
jam,
yeah.
and when we played it, that's all I was able to use. I remember the rep guy was like, I can only get you an ENGL 50 head, retro head. And David, I think you had your Savage with, so you were set, and I was like, oh well, we'll see what we could do, whatever. I'll get an overdrive. We'll figure it out, whatever. And I plugged it in, and I was like, oh, we're fine. We're fine.
We're
It'll be
good.
good. It'll be good. Yeah.
it'd be a good show.
Awesome. All right, guys. So
And the
that's
show was
angle.
good. And the show was good.
It was good.